When it comes to crypto mining, there are three things that I would recommend. 1, buy efficient hardware. 2, get yourself a really good electric rate. And number 3, mine Bitcoin if you want security over a long period of time. So you read the title, and yes, I bought myself another Bitcoin miner, an S21 XP. So this is a 270 terahash miner, really efficient, and I will be sending it off to get it hosted. So today I want to take you through some of the specs, show you what it's making, and show you what electric rate we're getting, because believe me, that is nearly the most, if not the most important part of buying any crypto mining hardware. So first up, let's get this thing unboxed and show you what we're working with. All right, guys, let's check it out. Here we have it. The package has arrived. The big old Bitmain Antminer box is here. So we're going to have to put this camera down and unbox this thing, because this is an absolute monster, as you can see. So let me get this camera set up and let's see what's in the box. All right, let's get this cut open. This is a seriously large box, as we've said. All right, so we've got all the regular paperwork, we've got an install guide, all that fun stuff right here. Oh, it's we're gonna need to flip this upside down just to get into it. This you won't, oh, maybe this pops off. Yeah, there we go. We like that when it's easy. Okay, standard power cable. We'll talk through some of those details in a minute. This thing's heavy. Wow, that that thing weighs a ton. Let me tell you, I think they're about 20 kgs or about 45 pounds. We'll have a look. Just want to make sure I can get this out without doing any damage to it, obviously. Because as we know, this is a pretty expensive bit of hardware right here. Is there a seal on this? Oh yeah, there's a bit of tape. I'll bring you closer in a sec and we'll look through everything, but just for the time being, oh my lord, this thing is massive. Ta-da, just like that. Let's turn this around and I'll come and grab you now, and we'll go through some of the specs on this thing and talk about some of the details that we can see right here. All right, let's take a look at this thing now. This is an absolute monster, as we've said. Get a bit of a size comparison here for you. Now, you know, that's just a hand size comparison. Take that from what you will. But as we know, the Bitmain Antminer S21 XP. Now this is a 270 terahash Bitcoin miner. I'm super excited to have this one right here. Now there's not a lot to these big ASIC miners. Well, not a lot that you really need to know other than the power and the hash rate. So inside right here, we've got the power supply. Now it's got 3 fans, sorry. So this is a 3645 watt miner. So you cannot run this on a standard outlet at home. So if you're thinking about trying, don't do it. you will have a lot of problems. As we can see, we've got our power cables here, non-standard as well. They will just go right in here. I believe this is a C19 cable, it says it is. Yep, so it requires 20 amp outlet, at least 250 volts. So yeah, definitely plenty of juice, but also plenty of profitability as well. So we've got the 3 fans right here for the power supply. We've got the power outlet itself. And then on the front and back, we've got these 2 140 mil, these are called Delta fans, right? So this is your exhaust right here. All the air will be blowing, being sucked in from this side and pulled out to the other side. Now, I believe that these fans are either 3,000 or 6,000 RPM. So very, very fast spinning, and they are very, very loud as well. So if you are setting up your own mining operation at home, bear in mind, these will make a lot of noise, right? This is not a standard residential type miner. This is an industrial Bitcoin miner. So that's why we will be sending this off for hosting and getting a great electric rate as well. So now that we've seen the miner itself, let's jump on over to the computer, start talking about some specs and some profitability and all the stuff that really matters so we can get this up and running and mining some Bitcoin. Let's go. Very quickly, before we jump to the PC, I want to show you what we've got up the top here. We've got our little micro USB slot right over there. Standard buttons, you've got a reset and an IP report. Of course, your Ethernet, you'll need that, plus a little LED screen on here, which will show you your IP and other information that you might need. There's also a switch display button, so you'll be able to get different information on the top screen. And of course, your LED, your debug and fault lights. So we can have a look at all of those on the computer. All right, so specifications. So 270 terahash. So this thing is an absolute monster, right? It is getting you as much Bitcoin as possible at these sort of price ranges, right? Of course, it's not the most powerful Bitcoin miner you can buy, but it's definitely up there. And we'll talk about some of those details a little bit later. They're pulling a lot of juice, 3,645 watts. So this won't run, as we said, on your standard outlet. This needs to be, you know, a specifically installed outlet by an electrician, a 20 amp or even a 30 amp. So make sure you do your research before, you know, trying to plug this into an household outlet. You will have problems. Efficiency, 13.5 joules per terahash. So this is just a measurement of how much hash rate it's getting per how many watts, right? So you can use this efficiency metric, and we'll look at that in a sec, to determine, you know, what some of the most efficient hardware is. And believe me, this is definitely up there. Weight, nice and heavy, 18.7 kilograms. I think I estimated around 20 kgs. So this would be about like 45, 50 pounds, maybe 40 pounds for those who are playing over in the States. And it's been out a little while now as well. So over a year at this point. I think they're talking about releasing an S22 at some stage, but who knows when that will be. These manufacturers' timelines can often, you should take them with a grain of salt. And as we know, SHA-256 is the algorithm, and that is, of course, where we mine our Bitcoin. So currently my electric rate, which we'll talk a little bit about later, is 0.47 cents. So this is through OneMiners, as we can see, who I am an affiliate with. So full disclosure, just an unbeatable electric rate, right? Like just under 5 cents. This is what's getting us some profit. So we can see briefly on the slider bar over here, it's a 60-40 profit margin, profit versus electricity. And that works out to about $6.66 a day worth of electricity, worth of profit, which is really, really nice. And around $2,500 a year or $200 a month worth of profit. So definitely one of the more profitable miners out there. And like we said, if you're unsure in this sort of market, my personal opinion and what I've learned the hard way, you know, taking gambles on other pieces of hardware, you can't go wrong with Bitcoin. Efficiency, electricity rate, you know, and of course mine Bitcoin, as we all know. So You can mine fractal Bitcoin with this or Bitcoin Cash, and it says you're earning a little bit more money. But for me personally, I just like to mine straight Bitcoin and just keep on stacking that. And what's great about OneMiners is that there is a way that they can basically take the electricity fees out of what you're earning through the Bitcoin in the dashboard. So you don't need to do anything. You can just get this thing set up for hosted and you're away and mining. Now, if we look at ROIs, around 2 years, well, this is jumping up and down, of course, as the price moves up and down. So under a 2-year ROI on a Bitcoin miner now, of course, that is at current prices, current hash rates. Things will change, right? So don't look at this number and stick by that. You know, it could be longer, it could even be shorter, you know, because the Bitcoin market, well, the markets in general, everything's down right now, right? This is, you know, this bull run, so to speak, didn't quite work out exactly how we all figured. But still, with Bitcoin, you know, I'm not losing. So let's jump on over now and have a look at the dashboard and talk about a few more details as far as, you know, the hosting, the rates, and all that good stuff. So as mentioned, I will be sending this over to Nigeria for the hosting because my residential electric rate cannot match these rates even close, right? So they have a number of different locations, as you can see here, and the rate will depend on where you send it and whether you're buying them online through OneMiners directly or if you're shipping your miners to them. Of course, it makes sense that if you buy through them, you're going to get a better electric rate, right? That's how things work, right? But still, you know, very comparable, 0.5 cent difference if you wanted to ship your own one there. Make sure you do your research, crunch your numbers before you you decide which one to do. But my recommendation for the ease would just be to buy it online. It gets set up, you know, within days, weeks, depending on what priority you are and what you pay for, and just make it easy on yourself, guys. So jump on over here. I'll leave all the links. You know, they've got YouTube you can check out as well if you're looking for transparency and just a bunch more information. You know, if you preferred something like the USA, for instance, for whatever reason, you didn't want to send it to, you know, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Finland, you know, the Czech Republic, whatever, you can get them hosted there. The electric rate's not going to be as good, however. But as we'll find out on the next page, they will cost you a little bit less. So it sort of makes itself up there. So do your own research on that one. So if you did want to grab one of these or any of the sort of miners, just a quick overview of how it would all work. You would just go to the website, you would click your miner, you'd add it to cart, which you can see up the top here. And then you've got a number of different options and the pricing will vary depending on what you want to do. So you're obviously going to need to enter in your shipping details and all that sort of stuff. Or if you wanted to buy one and pick one up, you could do that. I mean, if you can beat their electric rates, good on you. But personally, hosting for me is sort of where I'm leaning to these days. Like I said, it's just easy. Now you don't have to worry about them, heat, noise, all that stuff. You just pay for it, it's online, and it's in your dashboard mining away. So selecting your hosting area. So as we said, just for example, you know, if you look at this miner right now at USA, or getting hosted in the USA, it's $4,200. Now you can add a priority processing guarantee, which will increase the price slightly, $275, and you'll get it online within 48 hours. So, you know, decide yourself whether that's something that you want to actually pay for. Now my original S21 XP, I've managed to get this rate, the 0.479 rate. So that facility is full now. They do have another facility at Nigeria, which is just over 5 cents, but as you can see, it is a little more expensive. So you can figure out what you want to do there. Finland again, 0.65 cents. You know, it's getting cheaper. So you can sort of see how that all works there. So, you know, figure all that stuff out, do your numbers. You know, make sure you do your research before you decide to do anything like this, but, you know, a number of different payments also. And you can add a discount code, which we have, as we mentioned, we're an affiliate. So the discount code, I believe, saves you $100, and I'll link that down below. And it is case sensitive, guys. So remember that if you're interested. And yeah, really easy, plug and play. That's what we like. Pay for it, get it shipped, pick it up, whatever you want to do. Now, a very brief look at my S21, the one I've had for just over 6 months now. That's been online, and it's just been chunking away. I haven't had a single issue with this. The uptime is great. And as you can see, we've been stacking that Bitcoin, guys. So definitely can't complain with that. The dashboard's got a bit of information, but I will be doing a 6-month review on this hosting service. So make sure you subscribe. I'll have that video coming in the next few weeks, and I'll go through all of the ins and outs of this dashboard and the hosting process. So if you needed a little more information on how that all works and what you could expect to pay, etc., make sure you turn those notifications on, subscribe, and it'll be out shortly. So that is gonna wrap it up, guys. That S21 is now on its way to the Nigeria facility. It's gonna be set up within a couple of days of arrival. Hopefully the Christmas period doesn't slow this down too much, but really, really excited about this unit. And shout out to OneMiners, it's been great working with them as well. If you do want any more info, right, like if you're unsure about the process, join the Discord. I've had a bunch of people come in and ask questions about this service before, and I can sort of answer any questions for you, right, because it's great to have all the information before you start. So, as we said, that'll wrap it up. I'm very excited about this S21 XP, Bitcoin mining, more hash rate. Let's go, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.